Well, hello, or should I say hola. Whether you guys have been following us for a while or you're new to our channel, we just want to thank you for following along with us on our journey. We're really overwhelmed by the number of people who are watching and subscribing, and we really appreciate your support. I mean, we're just a couple of retired people that are just out traveling and seeing beautiful places, meeting a lot of interesting people, and taking you guys along with us. And we're just finishing up in Valencia.
4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 wonderful weeks in Valencia. It's been an amazing time. So many great experiences. Really thought that maybe we would just take a moment and,
It's like a wrap up.
Yeah, a wrap up. Just reflect on some of the things.
Good reflection.
A reflection. 4 weeks requires a little bit of reflection.
Yeah, that was a long time in Valencia.
Yeah, maybe break down some highlights, at least according to us, what were some of the best things that we saw and did. And we always encourage you to go out and experience these things on your own because they're really incredible. So what are some of your favorite things?
Well, my favorite was walking the old town. Over in the El Carmen district.
Yeah, that was great. That was something we could do on a daily basis because our Airbnb was in Old Town, which we really enjoyed.
You kind of just go down the stairs and boom, you're right there in the old town.
You step right out in it, which was great. There were a great deal of local shops in Old Town.
Every block had shops, bakeries, restaurants, seems like grocery stores, coffee shops, everywhere.
It was really close. The walkability was great. Like we said, we stepped out and within, a block or less.
It started off like, maybe a half mile, then a mile, then 2 miles. It's kind of like, we're walking a lot. Then all of a sudden you're walking 4 miles or so a day and you don't even notice it. It's just part of your everyday life. And you can go over to the shopping, which is they have several malls.
They do.
I guess a street, one of the main streets to shop.
Yeah, they have a area that has a lot of the name brand things for Spain, a lot of those shops and everything. I believe it's Cologne Street. And then they also have in the center, the heart of Old Town, in the El Carmen district where we were at. They had a lot of local shops too, which was nice. So a never-ending supply of things to see.
Every day we would walk, and I would say the first couple of weeks, maybe even the 3 weeks, we would find new streets, new right turns, left turns. You're going around, you're doing different things, and it's like a store in an area you never saw before the previous time. You kept walking, walking.
Because the streets are narrow and winding and things are tucked in all different places.
So the discovering Valencia all around, that was just part of the everyday adventure that you would get out and do that. Even a new grocery store
it's
incredible the way that worked.
You think you've walked by it 100 times and all of a sudden there's something that you haven't seen before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and I'd also include Central Market in that because it was less than a block from our Airbnb.
Yeah, just right there. I would say 3 minutes walking. You go down, you go across a nice, beautiful park, and then you're right there in the Central Market.
Which Central Market could be an experience of its own because it's so big and plays such a big role in Old Town. It's a place where you can go and get any number of things, local produce, meats, all kinds of local products to Spain.
That's kind of a kickoff. There's a big bus station there, and then behind it, and you've got all the additional restaurants and stores and bakeries and tobacco shop for your bus tickets and just everything kind of right there. And all the streets kick off from that. One of the main streets go down from there. So good launching pad. Figure out where we want to go that day. Go to the marketplace and go left, or go one of the many streets behind it. Go to the right. Yeah, you go all over the place.
And it's also a great place to learn about the local things to Spain because they have products and things that you didn't even realize. So it was a real learning experience for us too. But you definitely have to check that out if you're in Valencia. Definitely one of the highlights. What else?
Definitely the Valencia Cathedral. You have to go to the Cathedral. That was one of our highlights of our must-see trips.
Do.
Must do. Yep.
Yeah, we waited a little bit and hit it on a weekday.
Yeah.
So there were a little less people.
All of our walking around, we talked about earlier, you'd go by and you'd see, a really, really long line of people getting in there from either the cruise ship or the tours and the weekend. But we waited until it was during the week, since we were there for a while. And I didn't even know this, but the Holy Grail is in there, and that was highlight inside the cathedral to see the Holy Grail.
The exterior is beautiful. So if you're just seeing the exterior, it's stunning. But I think it's worth the €9 that we paid here in 2025.
It's a wow factor when you go in.
To go inside, the architecture is amazing, and
there's a mini museum.
There is a museum, and
there as well.
it's well done.
And there's down in the basement. I won't spoil it, but there's some stuff you should see down there in the caverns.
And that's all included in your entrance fee.
Correct.
And they do have the Holy Grail on display. So definitely you'll want to see that. That's a must see as well.
What else did you want to see? What's your must do? What's another must do?
Well, I think biking the Turia Garden.
Yes.
That was something I really enjoyed.
We waited for that we got more familiar with the area, and then we found a good place to rent the bikes.
We did.
Right, just a few, like 400 or 500 meters from the Airbnb. You can get the bike and then ride through town to get over to the Turia Gardens.
Lots of places you can rent bikes, but this one worked out for us. It was Bike Virgin. It worked out for us because it was so close.
Yeah.
Easy process to get the bikes and not too far from the Turia, from the bike shop for us.
No, just took off through town.
Yeah.
And I guess we had to walk in a couple of places where it was sort of crowded, but it was during the week, I think, so it wasn't really that bad.
Well, that's the beauty of long travel, is you can wait a little bit.
We picked our day to get a good day, and we also, if you see the video on that one, Rhonda packed a lunch. So I carried the big backpack, had our lunch with us, and got all the way to the biopark up to the zoo.
Yeah.
We wanted to kind of go from end to end as much as we could.
And now the Turia Garden is an old riverbed. It was, had some devastating floods. They turned it into a beautiful green space that has walking and biking trails.
Yep.
And so we really wanted to cover it end to end. And it's a great way to see the city. And there's places you can stop off along there and
we went from the top and we went down to the arts and sciences area.
Right.
And that's an area where it's another area you could stay, especially if you had family with you and stuff.
Right. So it kind of starts at the zoo, ends at the City of Arts and Sciences. And so if you are traveling with a family with children, I think that those things would be great to do. We didn't actually buy tickets to go to the exhibits in the City of Arts and Sciences, but the exterior of the buildings there are definitely worth
It's definitely Valencia has put a lot of effort into that area, and it shows. For sure.
And that is another area. I think a lot of folks that come with families in the summer stay in that area because it is a little closer to the beach.
Yeah. And of course, in Valencia, there's a lot more museums to see.
There are. Right. There are other museums. So if you are interested in museums, there are definitely museums in Valencia that you can see. We did the Ceramics Museum, which was a favorite of mine.
There was some Picasso in there. Some Picasso pottery.
Some Picasso ceramics he made just for the museum.
That was interesting.
And ceramics play such a big role in Spanish culture and history.
And then there was free. Don't forget the free ones.
Right, and there were several free museums. So I would encourage you, if museums are your thing, research that. There are some great offerings there.
Okay. What else?
Well, what about day trips?
So day trips, we did a few from Valencia. We went to Sagunto. That was our first one.
That was our first day trip.
We went over to it's about 1 kilometer from where we were staying over to the De Nord train station, and we caught a train to Sagunto.
Yeah, about a 30-minute train ride.
We were able to do a whole video on that one.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
You can get the tickets online, or you can just buy them at the station.
Yeah.
Just a pretty easy process to do that. Hop on the train, get over to Sagunto. We went in the morning so that we would have the whole day.
Yeah, got to go see the castle. The interior part was closed that day, and we have a video, more details on it, but I would definitely go back. It was closed for, I think, January, February for some renovation.
Right, some maintenance work or something. We were a little disappointed, but the exterior is
We got to hike all around it, and there was the museum and the welcome center was open on the inside.
That's
so you
true.
See a little bit.
And
then,
on
course,
the walk, it's about a 20-minute walk from the train station up the hill to the castle, and you will pass the Roman amphitheater on your way up, which is open and is free. And so you can stop in.
And there's a museum even further down from that, and then a town square. We had lunch down there.
There is a museum in the town, which is also free. So just a small museum. But if you go up to the castle and want to come down and see some things in the town, always be aware of your timing, because they do close for siesta. So there'll be
we went down after we got done, and we went to the train station. It was all closed.
So always be aware of the times. So you won't be disappointed in missing out on something.
Then we went to Port Saplaya.
Yes, we did Port Saplaya.
We did the 2-bus route, just I guess for the fun of it as well, to get over there. We knew it was pretty close, but 2 buses, take the EMT, the local bus, and then we like a city bus or something.
And the metro bus.
The metro bus, to get out to Port Saplaya. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and it was a little tricky putting the two together. The metro bus doesn't have nearly as many stops, and you had to kind of piece them together. But it worked out, and we could use our bus card for both.
That's right.
And so it was worth a couple of bus transfers to get out there. They call it the Little Venice.
It was beautiful.
And
I could see where people stay out there. It was we were there during the off season, but during the summer, I imagine that place was packed, especially with the beach activities. They had like Sea-Doos and other rentals.
It's definitely a beach place. It's a pretty little village, a colorful
we had seen
marina area.
Yeah, we had seen that along the coast when we did the bike ride. We went further out to the beach area, so we kind of had an idea that it was definitely going to be beautiful. So we wanted to go see more of it, and that gave us the opportunity.
I have read that people have actually ridden bikes all the way out there, but
you could. It's not that far.
Not that far.
But we went on the bus ride. It goes out on the highway, so I'm not really sure where
we decided to go ahead and just take the bus, and it's a nice little trip. It's not far, so definitely worth a hop out there.
Then the other day trip we did was Xativa, the other castle. That was about an hour train ride as well. That castle was open, and that castle was incredible.
Very impressive.
If you're in Valencia or in that area, I would definitely recommend a visit to the castle.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And it's the same thing. You can purchase the tickets online or at the station. Really easy. You leave from the Nord train station, and really easy to get there. Again, whenever you come into town, you'll have an uphill walk to get to the castle. This one takes about 45 minutes. It's a serious uphill walk.
It was a good walk. A lot of people will take a cab or an Uber or whatever transportation bus is
drive.
there.
They have a shuttle that runs on Sundays and holidays, but outside of that, you're on your own.
Yeah. But definitely worth doing while you're in Valencia.
Definitely worth doing. Now, you can purchase admission. There is an admission for this one. €6, I think, is what we paid each. You can do it online. We waited. It was off season, so we waited and just purchased it at the entrance.
This was in January.
Right. So if it's high season, you might want to go ahead and do it online, because I understand that this is a pretty popular attraction.
Exactly.
And I can see why.
Yep.
It was great. There's an upper castle and a lower castle. Both require some walking, but it was fantastic. We really enjoyed it. Also, with your ticket, you can go to some municipal museums in town, but again, check your times. You will want to spend a lot of time at the castle. We did. And if you're coming back down, be sure, watch your time, because those museums will close during that midday. So if it's something important to you, definitely check on that. But those were really great day trips and super easy
and
to do.
there are many more.
Oh, sure.
Check how far you want to go.
Right.
You're just south of Barcelona and other cities all around. But again, we had a limited budget and time.
We're budget travelers.
Yeah, so I mean, again, like I said, for weeks we were just exploring Valencia. And just waking up, walking around, getting coffee and sandwiches in the local bakeries, little snacks.
Yeah.
Just exploring that every day was an adventure itself.
Absolutely.
I absolutely loved just doing that every day. Was a highlight of the Valencia trip for sure.
And this was our introduction to Spain, and so we were just kind of soaking it all in. And I think Valencia was a great place to do that because it's a little less touristy than some of the other places in Spain, especially along the Mediterranean. And it's really authentic. I felt like it was so authentic that there was so much local there. And I think it really gave us a great introduction to Spain.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the best place to start. You know, flew into Madrid if you saw that video, and just stayed one night, took the high speed over to Valencia, and just got smacked in
Just
the face with Valencia immediately.
Immersed in Spanish culture.
Immediately, right there, you come down from your apartment and you're right there in the middle of all of it. You can't escape it. You're right there, and it was perfect introduction. Right. And I would definitely do this. Yeah. I'd love to go back to Valencia over and over again.
We would do it again. As always, we encourage you to go out and experience these things for yourselves, form your own opinion. But for us, we loved it and would highly recommend it.
Well, it didn't cover everything because there's like a million things in Valencia with
4
shopping.
weeks. Yeah, we're hitting the high points.
You know, the El Cortez Ingles, the shopping malls, the other places, all the local food that we had. We did go out to eat. We had tapas at one of the hidden restaurants off a small street. I mean, some of the experiences we had.
Gelato
and churros.
The churros and hot chocolate.
It just goes on and on. All the different things that you just walk for a day or so, and you've got 50 experiences under your belt right there just immediately.
So hard to touch on everything, but again, we loved it. Great experiences, plenty to do and see. Go out there. Travel, experience, enjoy, and we'll see you down the road.
Bye.